its computer.
All right, so I'm gonna start now. Hi everyone. Today we're going to talk about generating various files with Python. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Irina Dimitrov. I have a bachelor's in healthcare management, but I am pursuing a career in data science and analysis and financial planning and analysis. I was born in Romania, but I currently live in Chicago. And I know this is kind of short, but throughout the presentation, there are a few clues about myself, about my hobbies or my likes. So it'll be interesting if at the end of the presentation, you guys are going to be able to identify some of those or tell me a few things that you might be observing during the presentation. So I was trying to make it interesting for you and also not provide a lot of biographical information that might get boring if it's too much. So we have a summary of the presentation here. This is our table of contents. We're going to create a Word document, an Excel spreadsheet, a PDF file, and a short PowerPoint presentation with Python. Why is this relevant? Well, one of the reasons that come to mind is automation. And here we can talk about document generation, reporting, and invoicing, among other things. So for instance, you could have one person edit and customize files and then have consistent templates across departments to be used by all. And that does prevent duplication. It streamlines document generation and also ensures document integrity. So that's important stuff. Then something that's important to me personally, because it annoys me all the time, is not having to update Microsoft Office or related Microsoft applications. So this way, I feel like I'm in control of my files. I can use Python, I generate them, then I change them at will. We are going to start with a Microsoft document, 2 pages here. This is what we're going to generate. We have text, several fonts. We have a title, an image, and a table on the second page. So we start by doing a pip install of the docx library and importing the document module. And if you know you're going to use an image, you can add the inches module as well to be used later. So we create a new document from the built-in default templates, then add a heading, which, well, style of document, obviously, but you can do whatever, you can add whatever you want, then add a paragraph and some styling. Then, every once in a while you feel like, oh, I've written all of this, but, I forgot to do something, or I want to rearrange things a little bit. So if you want to add something before another paragraph to edit your file a little bit, you can use the insert paragraph before method, and you can place that text wherever you want. Before the first paragraph that you already wrote, after the second, before the second, and so on and so forth. And if you also, if you want to add a picture, you can use the add picture method, and obviously the path to your JPEG or PNG file. Next, we can add a page break, another heading. In this case, this is the second page. We're going to list our products. So this is a nursery that sells magnolia trees. We have a table here. So now we've got 2 pages with some relevant information for this particular business, and we can improve on it for the obviously for additional features and editing options. You can check the documentation, and I've provided the link here. Here is this is creating the table right here with the cells and the information with the add table method right here. And this is the finished version of these 2 pages right here. Next, let's move on to the Excel file that I mentioned earlier. And for this one, we're going to use the XLSX writer library. So we define the workbook object with an output file location, and we create a simple worksheet, a very simple worksheet for this workbook. We add some text in several cells, and you can see what I got right here on the right. This is the output. And it looks like we've got some minions here on the page. They've invaded my presentation. So I will talk about how to insert an image into an Excel file with Python. So we're just going to, set a column, like a target column, where we want to, maybe write something about that image, and then we insert the image with the path that where our file is. And if you want to read more about that, it's all written in the documentation. The link is provided here. Then if we want to create a table, these are Excel files, so creating tables, we do this all the time in Excel. This is an example with another workbook. So I create one right here. I add some text with styling, and so these are the headers. We've got the headers, and let's insert some data next. So here are some expense categories with their dollar amount, and we use a for loop to iterate over each item in order to populate the cells. And then I also wanted to do a total, so we can do a sum here. And then if we wanted to do a chart, we can use the chart class and the add chart method to create a chart. Then we select our data. You can see it right here, and insert it in the target cell. If you want to find out more about how to generate these Excel files, there's just so much information. You can do so much with it. It's amazing. Like I would like to spend hours on like manipulating this data and seeing everything that this library has to offer. But obviously the time is limited, so I am providing a link right here. I will be back online, to look at it myself and to see what else is out there. They've got all sorts of things, so I recommend you go. If we're well, I think we're done with this, so let's move on to the PDF file. We import the FPDF library, and let's create, you can see here, it's a PDF file with a title, an image of a fancy motorcycle, it's a Harley Davidson, and a list of potential childhood dreams. I call them life goals. So we install the FPDF library, and proceed to set up the header with a logo, and that was my chosen image. You can see the path to my local file right here, and then we do some styling for the title, and then we define a footer. We position it where we want it to go, and add the page number, in this case 1, plus the default value NB for the total number of pages in the file. In this case, it's also 1 because we've only created a 1-page file, but if we had 2 pages, this would show 1 out of 2. Next on our list is to create those sentences. You can see right here, we have, when I grow up, I want to, and then of course, once the PDF file is generated, you can add text on there, and or just use it as a template for something, I don't know, give it to kids or something. Then all they have to do is just fill it out with what they want to do or be when they decide to finally grow up. The last file we're going to talk about today is a PowerPoint presentation. And for this, we're going to use the PPTX library. We're going to get some default templates in there. We're going to create the first slide layout and the slide object here. It's a simple slide. It only has a title, a subtitle, and it can be as simple as that. However, if you want to create something more complex, you can create another slide or change the previous slide. This one, we can, I've created a text box here. I added a second slide, second layout, create a text box, and put some text in there, so it's not sitting there empty. So you can populate these any way you want. The library, again, just like the others, it has a lot of features, a lot of versatility, so you can pretty much build your PowerPoint presentation very professionally with what it offers. Next, if you want to add an image, it's very simple. This is my image path. You position it on the page, so under that text box that I created in the previous slide, I'm putting this image of this very cool puppy. I'm positioning it from the left margin 3.5 inches, from the top 2.5 inches, and here is the height of the picture, 4.5 inches. And I use the add picture method. Then I can just save my file, and I've got this plus the first slide right here. And if you want to read more about it, the link is right here. You can, you can create, you can add shapes, you can add tables, do a lot of stuff. So I recommend you take a look at that and, read into it if you're curious about creating these PowerPoint files. So far, it's I'm not sure if anyone's been have you actually been following, because we've kind of gotten to the end, and we've generated the Word document, the Excel file, PDF file, and the PowerPoint presentation. Are there any impressions? I haven't heard a sneeze, I haven't heard a cough. Do you guys have any questions?
Well, Misha, say it, yeah.
I was just gonna say it's very useful info. This kind of stuff can come up pretty often, especially like if you run into a situation where you got to create some kind of long document. You have a whole bunch of photos, for example. Having this in mind really helps, because you could really just save a lot of time by, if it's not a lot of customized stuff, you could just go ahead and create a program that does it for you. So having this in the back pocket is very useful.
Yep. Yeah, and imagine how you can actually control the versions of these documents where you only have, like, let's say you're the manager of a team, and your team kind of has the tendency to just go in and edit your files, or edit different things, add things, move them around, and not communicate the changes. And so I've been in teams like that, and it was actually really frustrating. And instead of having, for me, that was one of the more important things, because you can have one person just do the Python code, have access to it, and then have this standard document or Excel file or PDF to distribute among all team members, and nobody's going to mess with it. So actually, this kind of, it kind of implies that you have only one person that knows the code that can do this. But as you can see, the code is simple. So even in a non-technical team, you can teach someone to do this, and you can totally safeguard your information right there, and have document integrity, and not have anyone else just alter it whenever they feel like it.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, Irina, thank you very much. Let me stop the recording. It was very good.